Does length matter? You know, you know me. I couldn't resist that question just because of the question, right? And there's so, I'm not even going to go there. I mean, that takes me back to the schoolyard. It comes from Alex in Enfield, England. This seems like we've had a lot of questions from England lately. Worried about your length, eh? Anyway, sorry. The old mind is a sewer. Hey, Paul, I was wondering if, or at what point, the length of a speaker cable impacts overall sound quality. I'm currently running 5-meter cables, and having recently added a subwoofer, was also curious if the cables for the sub should be the same length, or does it make no difference at all? I really enjoy watching your videos. I have learnt a lot. Thanks, Alex. Well, let's divide it up into the two areas that we're kind of asking about. Yes, cable length matters, but again, we'll divide it up. So cable length matters when we're driving current. So if you're in your 5-meter cables that are driving your speakers, you have, in American terms, 15 feet of cable. Now, that cable has a number of properties like capacitance and resistance and impedance and inductance. And depending on your amplifier and its ability to drive those capacitive, inductive, resistive changes and connect it up to your speaker without getting squirrely or having a problem with it, it will change to some extent the sound. I mean, we can't say unequivocally that it won't, because we know that it will. We know that the longer the speaker cable, the more of a drop you're going to have due just to the resistance of the wire, if nothing else, in terms of level, and that will change per frequency. So that's basically inductance. So the inductance of the cable is going to say that at certain higher frequencies you're going to have less volume, and at lower frequencies you'll have more. It depends on the length and the amount and the kind of speaker. It's varied. But yes, it does matter, especially when you're trying to deliver power. But if you're hooking up a subwoofer using cables, that's going to be a low-level signal, or even it's a high-level signal, but you won't be delivering power. Now, things like capacitance in the cable matter quite a bit more. So where capacitance in a low impedance setting, like an 8-ohm load from a power amp, isn't going to make a whole lot of difference. As soon as we raise the input impedance on that power, on the subwoofer, now capacitance matters. So again, in different ways, that cable and its length will matter as well. Should you keep them the same? No, that's not important. And here's why. Because a speaker cable that's delivering power, watts to a speaker, is going to be a very different set of changes than a interconnect or a higher level cable will be to a piece of source equipment. Another example, a speaker cable delivering power is not going to care so much about hum. You could set that almost next to a transformer or a radio source, and it's not going to make any difference at all. But do that with a source equipment or a higher level piece, and you might get interference. You'll probably get hum. So their length, sourcing matters. So they're very different animals, if you will. So they shouldn't, there's no relationship to them being the same, but length does matter. So sorry for such a convoluted answer, but I hope that made some sort of sense for you. Thanks, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.